Introduction to the weakest light of full-time mages. Let's talk after writing. Chapter 1. Is gone. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Nian, male, average in appearance, dressed, tall. Forget it, in short, he looks like a socially recognized loser and poor. At this moment, he was running towards the lottery shop diagonally opposite the hospital, and before he even entered, he shouted, "Boss! Boss! Boss! Help me get 5 tickets quickly. These are the numbers I need, and each group will double the amount. There are still 5 minutes left for the machine to shut down. Hurry up! Hurry up!" The owner of the lottery shop had just lost 2,000 yuan when the life-threatening ghost came knocking on him again, so he impatiently said, I know. Every time it's like a life-threatening ghost, coming here early will kill you. I also convinced you. Your mother has been hospitalized for half a year and comes to me every day to vote. Upon hearing this, Nian's face turned pale. He couldn't do anything about it. The poor were seriously ill, powerless, and could only fantasize about becoming rich overnight and risking his life against the heavens. After receiving the lottery ticket, Nian returned to the hospital ward dejected. As soon as he sat down, his mother began to nag. "Xiao Nian, I told Dr. Lu that I will be discharged tomorrow. You should quickly find a stable job. It's not a problem to go out for sports cars and pick up orders at night like this. You can't go to college for nothing. Also, don't blame your mom for being too talkative. The girl from before was really unlucky, so let's not force her. There are still many good girls in the world, so find a new partner. If you can become a family, even if mom doesn't have any regrets. I know, mom, it's easy to treat your illness. Don't think about anything else, let's wait until you're well." Nian casually replied to his mother's words, staring at the lottery live broadcast on his phone and muttering, on the 6th, 35th, 22nd. 14th. Suddenly, an extremely excited voice came from the ward. "All in, haha, 36 million, haha. With it. Mr. Lin, this is the hospital. The patient needs to rest, please speak softly." The nurse stood at the door of the ward, watching the crazy person jumping up and down, shouting, and spoke out in silence. The next moment, the nurse was dumbfounded, and Nian rushed over and picked her up, spinning around several times. The nurse said angrily, "Mr. Lin, this is another price. Please put me down quickly." After a slight recovery, Nian apologized awkwardly to the nurse. The nurse seemed to be in a confused state, but in reality, she was a bit dizzy when she was transferred. All she could see was a few nurses standing at the end of the hallway whispering. The nurse felt a clatter in her heart. With the broken mouth of those sisters, how could she explain to her boyfriend that this person was really not the one related to her? After entering the ward, looking at his mother's slightly meaningful expression, Nian's face awkwardly reappeared. He explained to his mother that he had won 36 million yuan in the lottery, and was excited for a moment. He tried his best to express that he had nothing to do with the nurse sister. After hearing this, Lin's mother was completely stunned. 36 million yuan. For her, not eating or drinking for 2 lifetimes wouldn't save enough money. Has she been so naive? However, Lin's mother was even more experienced and quickly calmed down. She asked Nian to take out the lottery ticket, carefully wrap it in toilet paper, put it in a plastic bag, put the plastic bag in an iron tea box, and finally stuffed the iron tea box into a gift bag given by relatives. Nian knew that his mother's illness could not be delayed any longer. With hope, he planned to drive overnight to the provincial lottery center to redeem the first prize. This departure also became a lifelong regret for him. Today is a good day, everything I want to do can come true. Nian was driving happily on the road, humming a completely out-of-tune song. He saw a traffic police officer raising his hand to stop and check ahead. He thought it was a routine inspection, but didn't think much about it. He pulled over and didn't notice the eye contact between the two fake traffic police officers. After learning that they could leave, he hurriedly drove away. When driving on a winding mountain road, the tire burst. Lin Nian got out of the car, took out the spare tire from the trunk, changed the tire, and as soon as he turned around, a watermelon knife was placed around his neck. Okay, a good knife was placed around his neck. Who wouldn't panic when placed on it? Lin Nian looked at the three men with headsets who suddenly appeared. They were sturdy and as strong as cows, unable to run, unable to fight, unable to win. That year, I held my head with both hands, wasn't it embarrassing? The leader of the robber ordered fiercely, Lin Nian, right. Stay down and don't move, otherwise the red knife will come in and the white knife will come out. Big brother, the white knife comes in, the red knife comes out, the younger brother next to him reminded. Shut up. Hurry up and look for the gift box in the car. It's 36 million yuan. If you cash it out, it will be very smooth in the future. Third, go over there and keep an eye on the mountain. Upon hearing these words, Lin Nian understood that these guys must be related to several other patients in his mother's ward. Today, he was afraid that he would inevitably die, and his heart was filled with fear and unwillingness. Big brother, I couldn't find it. I've rummaged through the car, nothing. It seems that Mr. Lin is already prepared. The man in the headscarf, led by Lin Nian, finished his sentence and stabbed Lin Nian's leg, causing a large amount of blood to flow out in an instant. Lin Nian screamed in pain, "Why didn't you ask me? I just thought it was troublesome and took out the ticket." Big brother, there's a car coming up from below, it looks like a police car. The young man who was letting out the wind ran over and said, "Don't turn your head and try to laugh, but don't dare to." It seems like I didn't ask, but you can't help but say it." The leading man was a bit surprised, and then gestured for the two younger brothers to pull Lin Nian, who was sitting next to the tire and screaming in pain, into the car. Lin Nian was forcibly pulled into the driver's seat by two younger brothers, and the leading man sat in the passenger seat, shaking the watermelon knife in his hand and speaking with interest. "Mr. Lin, let's drive. You are a cultured person, you should know how to do it, right?" Looking at the watermelon knife flickering with cold light and carrying his own blood, Lin Nian covered his mouth and nodded wildly, turning around without nodding. This bandit leader is too ruthless. Big brother, let him drive, isn't that good? The two younger brothers worried, how could anyone rob someone and put the steering wheel in the hands of a meat ticket? Did it happen in a movie? The leader snorted coldly and said, "Are you two going to bring you here?" The two younger brothers scratched their heads awkwardly upon hearing these words. In this era, can driving lead to robbery? Even if Shui Linian rents a car and works as a ride-hailing driver, he cannot starve to death. In fact, the leading man is not someone who doesn't know how to drive, but he suspects that his two younger brothers will take advantage of him for money, so he sits alone in the passenger seat and points his knife at Lin Nian, both urging and guarding against it. Lin Nian took out a lottery ticket from his clothes and handed it to the leading man. He tied the clothes to his thigh and immediately started the car. Due to excessive blood loss and persistent leg pain, Lin Nian's nerves were stimulated, and he didn't dare to drive too fast. However, the leading man in the passenger seat, afraid of being caught by the police car coming up from the mountain, kept urging him, "Mr. Lin, I know where your mother is. Don't play any tricks, drive faster, don't pretend to be dead." Upon hearing these words, Lin Nian's heart was filled with a determined killing intent. He went to the Shuyuan website www.zhaoshuyuan.com and knew very well that he was lifeless today. However, he didn't show it and just said lightly, "Okay." Reluctantly stepping on the gas pedal, Lin Nian remembered clearly that there was a large open space next to the fork in the mountain top, and driving out was the Naiha Bridge waiting in line to drink soup. After turning the last corner, Lin Nian turned his face and asked coldly, "Are you afraid of the darkness?" The leading man was a bit confused. To be reasonable, he could also be considered a very vicious person, but when he saw Lin Yan's even more ruthless appearance, he didn't understand. Quickly, the leading man noticed that the speedometer was still rapidly rising at 170 kilometers per hour, and he realized and was also afraid. "You crazy person!" The leading man shouted and prepared to jump out of the car, but the car door had already been locked by Lin Yan. Then he went to grab the steering wheel, but it was too late. The car had reached the edge of the open space. The next second, a parabolic car with high beams crashed into the abyss. Lin Yan, die. The robber San Sha is so cold. On the mountainside of the winding mountain road, where Lin Yan was robbed, a police car drove over and a tire on the roadside caught the attention of the police. Two police officers got off the car to check and found blood stains on Lin Yan on the ground. In shock, they quickly contacted the headquarters for control. Under the tire was a cigarette box, which contained 2 high school student meal cards. There was a lottery ticket sandwiched between the cards, and the words, "Save Mother," were written next to the cigarette box. After Lin Yan had an accident, Lin's mother received treatment, but was overly sad and depressed. She handed the remaining money from her son's winning to the owner of another meal card in the cigarette box. Su Qingqing. Not long after, Lin's mother passed away, and Su Qingqing buried her, caressing the 2 familiar meal cards in her hand. How regretful she was for her reckless behavior, the frosty scratches on her face, and the farthest distance between love and death in the world, always separated forever. Chapter 2. Live. You are listening at novelfull.audio. On the magical plain, in the outskirts of the demon city, in a quaint courtyard, Lin Yan slowly opened his eyes and spoke weakly, "Is this the underworld? What a big sun, where am I queuing up to drink soup?" Hiss. Lin Yan's head was swollen and painful, and a large amount of memories flooded into his mind. He adapted a little, and his heart felt like crying without tears. It's okay to go through your sister's life. If you live, you will change my world. Shit, my 36 million. Lin Yan roused as he adjusted to his body. Reasonably, the soul at the age of 23 adapts to the body at the age of 11, and the sound becomes a child's voice, which is quite uncomfortable. What matters is that the height is only 1.2 meters, and there are too many places where both the volume and length have been reduced. Forget it, let's put it aside now. Lin Yan thought to himself that the world seemed even worse for him. His parents were both middle-level military mages. When he was 9 years old, his parents went to perform a mission and never came back. He became an orphan. He was adopted by widow Lu, who sold cha siu bao in the suburbs. He went to school on the martyr's pension given by the state. Later, he was autistic and didn't get along well with other children. After being teased by several dolls, he ran to catch others and hit himself against the wall. He just lay there for half a month. "What's that about, Nianer, are you feeling better?" Lu Shi saw Lin Nian waking up in the yard and quickly asked with concern. Speaking of which, Lu Shi became a widow and had some connection with his own cheap father. When the mountain demons attacked the city, Lu Shi's husband, as a beginner mage, was temporarily called up to defend the city. The team was under the jurisdiction of Lin Nian's father. When the team joined forces to kill the general-level mountain demon tiger, the mountain demon tiger erupted rapidly before death, killing 3 beginner mages in the team, one of whom was Lu Shi's husband. 1 month later, Lin Nian's parents received a mission and sacrificed themselves in this mission. Over the past 3 years, Lu Shi not only did not hold grudges, but also took good care of Lin Nian. Of course, this also made her subject to gossip from gossip women. "Aunt Lu, I'm fine." Lin Nian responded and lay on the large stone table in the yard, pretending to sleep with her eyes closed. Lu Shi felt helpless. Lin Nian, the child, had been so isolated since he found out his parents had passed away, and no one could enter his heart. "Nianer. Aunt Lu, don't call me Nianer in the future. It sounds like a girl's name. My parents used to call me Xiaonian, so you can also call me Xiaonian in the future. Okay, Xiaonian, I know what happened this time. It's not your fault. Those kids are too naughty, and you've been wronged. Aunt Lu hopes you work hard and become a respected great mage like your parents in the future. When you awaken to magic and become a mage, and get what your parents left for you in the Hunter Alliance, they won't dare to bully you anymore. Aunt Lu, you've been nagging for so many times. By the way, learning magic is such a waste of money. It's important for you to find someone to marry now. In 2 years, no one will ask for one. If you don't find me an uncle, I'm afraid I'll be a beggar in the future. Alas, can you adults let me take less dim sum? She was keenly aware that Lin Nian was more cheerful today, but she was still angry and scolded. You little heartless guy, you are going to sell me to pave the way for you, aren't you? The day after tomorrow, you don't want to eat white-cut chicken on your birthday. Before She could finish speaking, Lin Nian ran into the room on his own and said, you know this trick too. Anyway, in the end, you will make it. I can eat it if I want to. She stared blankly at Lin Nian, who was so mischievous that her teeth were itching with anger. She learned all from whom, thinking that she had been pinched by a child, and also thinking that she was venting her anger with a child. She was both angry and funny. After Lin Nian entered the room, he sorted out the familiar all-French plot and came to the conclusion that following the main character group, he could finish playing without hanging up. Witching Disaster, Ancient Capital Undead, Hufu Pyramid, Battle of the Demon Capital, Black Church, Asian Magic Association, Ecumenical Academy, Holy City Angel, and various aristocratic families. I won't go looking for those thrills anymore. There's nothing bad about living. Besides, I'm not from this world, can I have another life to talk about? It's better to be an old man. Ah no, it's better to keep one's guard. Having made up his mind, Lin Nian walked out of the room and saw Shi still making filling in the courtyard. He sneaked into the steamer and took 2 steamed buns. After stealing them, he ran out and asked Shi, Aunt Lu, where is farming taught around here? I want to learn how to grow food. Upon hearing Lin Nian's words, Shi almost couldn't catch her breath. She picked up a rolling pin and chased after Lin Nian, beating him up. After having a complete childhood, Lin Nian wanted to say something more, but when he saw the rolling pin, he understood. Shi was also afraid of leaving a psychological shadow on this closed child, so she had no choice but to offer words of comfort. Xiaonian, farming is not a bad thing, but you're still young. You can't just fight to become a wizard and go farming directly. Auntie knows that you may one day die outside the safe world like your parents after becoming a wizard, but this world is like this. Demons can come at any time. If you know magic, you can protect yourself, and Auntie can rest assured. Aunt Lu, I know now. I will study magic knowledge well. Plant more land in the future, Lin Nian stubbornly replied. Zhaoshuyuan.com. Yes, this is the magical world. Humans are trapped in a safe world, and demons can attack at any time. I am no longer the outsider, I have become a first-hand witness. One day, there will be a saying. See, that guy crossed over and was eaten by a novice village monster. It's really embarrassing to think about it. She looked helpless, but fortunately Lin Nian heard something. She took the steamer in the room to the tricycle, told Lin Nian a few words, left Lin Nian 10 cha su bao, and rode the tricycle to the stall. Lin Nian walked into the house and saw those 10 buns, feeling quite warm in his heart. While eating, he recalculated how to survive in the future. Firstly, more than a decade later, the sea demon forced coastal cities to abandon a large amount of land and establish 5 major base cities. The Southern Emperor, Lao Denner, directly brought about a global cooling, and the Dark King, Lao Lu, is unlikely to be too calm. After the cooling, food production will be severely reduced, and it is difficult to say whether one can still eat. Therefore, the task of grain storage must be done. Secondly, I didn't teach any magic knowledge in elementary school, so I guess I will only teach some conceptual magic knowledge in middle school. I need to find some channels as soon as possible and learn more. If I am not MO fan, there is still a possibility of awakening failure. Thirdly, magicians burn too much money. They need to earn a lot of money and act quickly. Otherwise, they can only rely on their faces to break through the realm of security, such as spirit seeds, soul seeds, and magical equipment. Worried about people, losers have no way to survive. It's so difficult to survive even if you want to. It's really uncomfortable to know too much and feel powerless. It's still Mo Fan who stands firm, faces so much darkness, and still maintains a passion to work hard and resist. I'm still suitable for being mediocre. Lin Nian thought about these things and slowly fell asleep. In fact, he just temporarily forgot that in this life, he was only 12 years old the day after tomorrow. This foresight not only brought troubles, but also brought him many opportunities. Chapter 3. Demon City Magic Library. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In 2 days, Lin Nian couldn't come up with a good solution even though he wanted to break his mind. He had no choice but to ask for money now, and it didn't matter if he wanted it. The magic hadn't awakened yet, and there was not a single inch of land. The main focus was on 2 words. Difficult to handle. Aunt Lu, I want to go to Yaodu Magic Library to work as a student, so that I can learn about magic early and prepare for the awakening of magic in the future. Lin Nian said to Lin Shi while chewing white-cut chicken. Upon hearing Lin Nian's words, Lu Shi was overjoyed. The heavens opened her eyes, and her efforts in the past 2 years were not in vain. She immediately said, Okay, Xiao Nian is sensible, but it may be difficult for ordinary people to enter that place. Besides, you are still so young. What can you do? Aunt Lu suggested that you contact your father's comrade in arms, Zhou Zheng, and he should be able to help you with this. Aunt Lu, I know, but I want to give it a try first. Uncle Zhou, like his father, dislikes using relationships to solve these things. Moreover, Uncle Zhou always tells me a lot about his parents' things, which makes me feel uncomfortable, Lin Nian said slowly. Lu Shi looked at the child in front of her and felt heartbroken. She sighed and said she would take Lin Nian to the Demon City Magic Library tomorrow to try it out. The next day, Lu Shi and Lin Nian set off early from the suburbs and took a car to the Magic Library in the center of the Demon City. Upon arrival, Lin Nian looked at the towering library and was secretly shocked, wondering how many books needed to be placed here. Without any accidents, the gatekeeper learned that they were not wizards and wanted to send them away. After all, in the past few years, a large number of ordinary people came here every year, pretending to study and holding onto the wizard's thighs in the magic library. The wizards were tormented, and in the end, the Magic Association came forward to build another ordinary library. The ordinary library only collects books and materials of ordinary people, as well as some pre-awakening wizard knowledge, for ordinary citizens to learn. The Demon City Magic Library contains a large number of books and materials from magical apprentices to high-level mages. Of course, different books require mages of different levels to have the right to read. Uncles, my parents are both military mages who have sacrificed themselves. This is my testament to the martyr's family. I want to learn magic, fight against demons, and inherit their will. I beg for your understanding. Lin Nian glanced aside and began to sell out. He saw that the guards were also in a difficult situation, and the captain of the guard on duty firmly refused to let them in. However, Lin Nian's words were not just for them to listen to. As expected, a wife walked towards them, and the guards quickly stood up straight and bowed together, saying, Deputy Director, they. The old lady waved her hand without any intention of blaming anyone, and then said to Lin Nian, Child, can you show me your martyr's family certificate? Lin Nian handed the certificate to the old man, and when the old man saw it, he seemed to have thought of something. After a long time of silence, a few people stood there, waiting for the old man to recover. Follow me in. The old man finished speaking and slowly walked towards the magic library. Lu Shi and Lin Nian followed silently upon hearing this. Wow, this place is so big. Lu Shi also entered the magic library for the first time in her life. Her eyes lit up and she was stunned by the dazzling library around her. There was a huge spiral staircase in the center of the library, and it seemed that every floor above was displaying a huge collection of books. Lin Nian, what do you think a magician is pursuing when learning magic? The old lady ignored Lu Shi's shock and turned to Lin Nian, asking. Okay, the interview is here again, and Lin Nian is cursing in his heart, pretending to be thinking. Is there an answer to this question in the entire French plot? The interview materials I read in my past life on the online drive are useless here. I can't say, I just want to survive until I die of old age. Grandma, I haven't learned magic yet, and to be honest, I haven't thought about it carefully, Lin Nian said before adding, I want to learn magic, become stronger, and protect the people I care about. Although magic is difficult to learn, I will continue to work hard. After speaking, Lin Nian eagerly looked at the old man. Although he felt like he was in second grade, there was nothing he could do. He was only 12 years old now, and he dared not say those long speeches. After listening to Lin Nian's words, the old man didn't give any evaluation, as if he was missing something again. Lin Nian roasted in his heart that the old woman can't be senile. It's scary to be so silent. Lin Nian, when facing magic, you should always have a heart of awe. Just follow me first and help me find the books I need every day. I'm getting old and can't run up and down anymore. The old lady agreed, and Lu Shi breathed a sigh of relief. While thanking Lin Nian, he asked his most concerned question, thank you, mother.in.law. Where do I live and where will I eat? The old man always felt strange, but he patiently explained, I plan to arrange for you to stay in the lounge on the top floor of the building. It has been vacant for several years, and you can clean it up and live there. As for the food, I will have someone arrange an employee meal card for you later, and you can pay for it yourself. Grandma, is there anyone in that restaurant who hasn't married an uncle? My Aunt Lu is beautiful, kind-hearted, and hardworking. She's alone now, Lin Nian asked the old man with a worried expression on her face. Xiao Nian, you're itching again, right? Lu Shi wanted to have a seizure, but looking at the old man next to her, she didn't feel good about it. She could only apologetically say to the old man, I'm sorry, I'm looking for the old man at Shuyuan www.zhaoshuyuan.com. Xiao Nian is not very sensible. Later, Lu Shi explained in detail to the old man about her and Lin Nian's situation. She understood that if she wanted to learn magic, having a clear family background was important for ordinary people. After listening to the experiences of Lin Nian and Lu Shi, the old man said with some emotion, you are also a hard-working child. I see that Lin Nian has a good heart, and I am also worried about you. Don't worry, although I am old, fortunately I can still use magic. If Lin Nian were to play around here, I would be able to handle the situation. After listening to the old lady's words, Lin Nian was feeling unwell. He felt like he had jumped into a pit of fire. After finishing everything, Lu Shi gave Lin Nian a bank card and another 1,000 yuan in cash, and then he went back. After returning home, Lu Shi looked at the empty yard and regretted sending Lin Nian to the magic library, but she knew that Lin Nian needed to grow up and would see the end of selling cha siu bao with her all her life. After gaining a basic understanding of the library situation, Lin Nian was completely numb. The old lady was working on the first floor, while Lin Nian lived on the 15th floor of the top floor, with an average height of 5 meters per floor. Most importantly, the library was not equipped with elevators to control traffic. Oh, it was to demonstrate the difficulty of exploring magical knowledge. Fortunately, my wife understood that Lin Nian was still a child and gave him a magic tool necklace, saying it would be convenient for him to climb the spiral staircase on the first day. Lin Nian was exhausted. At night, he lay in bed, constantly condemning what kind of nerve he had gone through. When he came to this magic library, what was even worse was that the screen windows in the room couldn't be closed, and the wind outside was like crying ghosts and howling wolves. Just as I was thinking about where ghosts were in this world, I scared myself. Then, I shuddered violently and thought of the ancient capital of the undead empire, the Egyptian pyramids, and the vampire of the demon capital. A fierce man's feet sank into the bed. Chapter 4. Library Life, 1. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After a month of exploration, Nian finally established himself in this magical library. As a child and helping the deputy director, he naturally became familiar with the staff on all levels of the library. Especially with the dining aunties at the staff restaurant, Nian was one aunt after another, calling each other affectionate. Looking at the unswerving serving spoon, Nian secretly greeted the expensive, unappetizing, and stingy hand-shaking auntie from his previous university life. What he didn't know was that these were just specially explained by the old lady, the deputy curator. Which family's child are you from? Nian, holding a pile of books, walked down the stairs step by step when he heard someone ask him. He turned his head and saw a middle-aged man who was slightly overweight and also the director of the Demon City Magic Library, named Lei Zhenling. Hello Director Lei, I am. Nian briefly introduced himself, explaining the reason for coming to the magic library, and then sold it poorly. Director Lei sighed for a moment, gave him a business card, and walked upstairs. Looking at the back of the director, Nian felt a murmur in his heart. He was both a university professor and a library director. He could come here for 2 days a week and receive double pay. It was like a dream job. Director Lei turned his head to watch Nian move step by step, then looked at the necklace around Nian's neck and said meaningfully, "Young man, the road is still long." Turning his head, Lei Zhenling walked into the book area and began to cover his mouth and smirk. "Director, what kind of happy event is there?" Cough cough. "It's Xiao Zhang, nothing serious. I found some fun." "Oh, you can arrange some books related to the awakening of magic for the child brought in by Senior Qin, the deputy librarian. Also, say hello to the Demon City Magic First High School and ask them to reserve a spot. You can also go and handle the procedures for him. He has been staying in the library for the past few years before high school." "Okay, owner, I'll arrange it for him as soon as possible." The young librarian surnamed Zhang really wanted to slap himself to death, so he came up to look for a cigarette if he had nothing to do. It has been proven that when the leader is happy there, don't just join in the fun, otherwise the leader may continue to be happy, and there may not be many who join in the fun. If you take on a lot of work, just do a lot of conspicuous things. By the way, Xiao Zhang, where does that child live? It seems to be the lounge on the top floor, the owner. Puff. Really fierce. Can we not be ruthless? Wearing the magic tool necklace that puts extra pressure on her body every day, she carries books up and down, and even sleeps in a sound like magical sound disturbance effect at night. However, it was not until many years later that Nian finally found out. 3 months later, Nian read some books related to magical apprentices in the library, and he gained a systematic and clear understanding of magical awakening. At the end of the day, magical awakening is simply about the awakened person's affinity for the magical elements and certain energies in the world. Of course, the affinity for elements is related to family genetics and can also be improved in some ways. For example, Mu Bai from an ice family is more likely to awaken to the ice family, while Zhang Xiaoho, who runs faster, is more likely to feel the wind element. The so-dot called guiding awakening refers to using a special awakening stone to guide the corresponding elements in the human body, increasing the success rate of awakening the magic series. It is worth mentioning that magical awakening does indeed fail, and the older one gets, the greater the chance of failure. The vast majority of ordinary adults have already reached an elemental balance in their bodies, and even guiding awakening is not easy to succeed. At present, the best age for magical awakening is 16 years old, which is a high school student. The most uncomfortable thing is that even if the awakening is successful, there are still a large number of people who have no magical achievements, resources, background, and grassroots mages who can only rely on hard work or wait for mutation. For various reasons, the number of mages in this world is less than 1% of the total population. Of course, with a large population base, there are still quite a few mages. Lin Nian is extremely nervous. According to his soul age, he is already 24 years old. As a mature adult, if he fails to awaken, it will be embarrassing. If a demon comes, he will be a plate of flesh if he cannot escape. Moreover, Mo Fan is of the same age and has a big pendant like the Blue Dragon pendant. He hasn't had anything for the past few months and still pays to work every day. Why am I so miserable? I can't do it. I still have to sell it to Grandma Chin. Maybe she can help me. If you have thick skin, you should have thick skin. In order to live without shame. Grandma. Lin Nian just opened her mouth, and Chin Grandma pinched Lei Yin in her right hand and a vase in her left hand, interrupting him and saying, "Lin, what do you want from Hua Hua Laupa this time?" Seeing this old lady like this, Lin Nian touched her nose and felt guilty, saying that the last incident was purely an accident. Who knew that the vase happened to be on the table, and as for the previous events, the old lady was almost furious, so Lin Nian quickly changed the topic and told her about the fact that she knew magic awakening would fail. She hoped that she could find ways to increase her chances of magic awakening and ensure that she could successfully awaken. Grandma Chin is worried that she won't be able to deal with this little rascal. She can't just strike him with a lightning strike. He's dozing off now, and now he's the one delivering the pillow himself, so I can't blame him. Grandma Chin looked at Lin Nian with a smile on her face, and said to Lin Nian as if she was serious. "Lin Nian, my mother-in-law knows you have a great ambition. Let's discuss with Director Lei and let you move to the 7th floor. There is a magic release hall where mages come to read books and test any inspiration they have. The release hall is filled with a large amount of magic elements every day. Having more exposure to it will be very beneficial for your magical awakening. However, you need to make sure to your mother-in-law that you can't fish for 3 days or sunbathe for 2 days. You must persevere." Upon hearing this, Lin Nian was overjoyed and exclaimed in his heart that his mother-in-law was really a kind old angel. He quickly promised not to disturb the magician inside and helped his mother-in-law move books during the day. He went to the book garden www.zhaoshuyuan.com and returned to his residence after work in the afternoon to learn and experience magical elements. Grandma Chin acted quickly and quickly conveyed the idea to Lei Zhenling. When the curator heard that Grandma Chin was going to arrange Lin Nian to stay in the temporary operation room of the 7th floor magic release hall, he was completely stimulated. There are 2 operation rooms on the 7th floor of the magic library. The commonly used one is located at the entrance of the hallway. The people inside are responsible for registering information, placing magic targets, recording magic power, etc. They are generally not affected by the magic released by mages on the floor. However, in order to prevent the operation room from malfunctioning, the magic library has installed a temporary operation room for backup after the special material thick wall behind the magic training target. Although this thick wall can absorb magic destructive elements, it is not soundproof. The library is also open to the public 24 hours a day. Lei Zhenling no longer knows what to say. "Senior, are you not joking? Lin Nian is a bit bare and broke some things, but it's not so bad, is it? He's still a child." This is Lin Nian's request. This child is stubborn and doesn't listen to advice. I have no choice but to let him move the books for half a day in the future. The temporary operation room is not usually used, and the instruments are separated. It doesn't take up much space. Sigh, it's all for the sake of the child. Xiaolei, you also need to understand. That's it. Chin Grandma said calmly. By the way, Xiaolei, I remember you have a mental magic tool that can boost your spirit. Now that kid can adapt to that necklace, and you can keep your bracelet as well. Can you lend me Lin Nian's envoy for a few years? Grandma Qin squinted her glasses and said to Lei Zhenling. Lei Zhenling didn't expect the elderly man in front of him to be so ruthless. Lin Nian just stayed in the temporary operation room, reducing his workload by half a day. Now he wants to put on the entire mental boosting magic tool for him. If this continues, nothing will happen, which is strange. Chapter 5. Library Life, 2. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Qin's mother.in.law seemed to have noticed Lei Zhenling's hesitation and immediately said, Xiao Lei, rest assured. Lin Nian, this child, has a firm will and nothing will happen. And as you know, both my daughter and my son.in.law have sacrificed themselves in the demon war. Lin Nian's parents are the same. I don't want him to be buried in the demon's mouth outside of Anjia in the future. Moreover, most children wear necklaces with heavy body pressure, and he can't adapt for more than half a year. He adapts in 4 months, which is enough to show his perseverance and talent. Taking advantage of this, I want to help him here. After he wakes up in high school, I will spend a lot of time going to the underworld. Xiao, face the demon, we can't follow him for a lifetime, you understand. Looking at this elderly man in his twilight years, Lei Zhenling felt helpless. When Qin Granny gave the white-haired man a gift to the black-haired man, it was heartbreaking. Now that she meets Lin Nian, it can be considered a continuation of her love. Lei Zhenling compromised. After Qin Granny received the spiritual magic tool bracelet, she injected magic energy and told Lin Nian that it was a magic tool bracelet that increased elemental affinity. Lin Nian had to wear it on her hand 24 hours a day. After learning that she only worked half a day, Lin Nian felt happy. She also had magic tools and reduced workload. Is there a more lucky traveler than me? Hanging brother, please go out and turn right. After Lei Zhenling had someone separate the temporary operation of the 7th floor magic release room, Lin Nian hummed a little tune and moved in with his own luggage. Lei Zhenling specifically instructed the 15 librarians on the 7th floor to just watch, don't say much. The librarians looked at each other with a strange expression, and Lei Zhenling coughed awkwardly without explaining anything, casually perfunctory. Lin Nian, the curator asked me to convey to you that in the future, the cafeteria auntie will add an extra piece of meat to your meals. You are growing your body and eating more. The meal expenses will remain the same as before. Thank you, curator. Long live the curator. Lin Nian was extremely excited. He had a passion for food and jumped to move books for Grandma Qin. Ah, young people. 15 people spoke in unison in a concluding speech. I'll go, it's so heavy. What are these books made of? They're too heavy. There are all sorts of strange things in this world of Dharma. Lin Nian struggled to carry the books and walked downstairs. In no time, Lin Nian sat on the spiral staircase, panting heavily. He felt that even gold was not so heavy and was afraid of getting hit by the board. After taking a break, he moved the book to Grandma Qin's office. Qin's mother.in.law looked at Lin Nian, who was exhausted like a dog in front of her. Her wrinkled face was somewhat guilty, and she encouraged, Lin Nian, the vast majority of books will be like this in the future. Work hard, and when you go to high school, my mother.in.law will give you a gift. After listening, Lin Niancheng walked out of the room with no other choice but to learn more, just be tired. Thinking that Grandma Qin is a super-level master, the gift she gave me is enough for me to use the medium level again. Life is tough, but I still feel happy in my heart. Returning to the new cabin, Lin Nian began flipping through the Encyclopedia of Demons, which included the vast majority of known human demons and detailed their characteristics, attack methods, magic, distribution zones, reproduction methods, and species categories. The whole book was 40 centimeters thick, and only 70% of the demons in the book had specific photos, but it was also remarkable. As Lin Nian focused on reading, there was a loud bang coming from outside the wall. Lin Nian was aroused and the book on his lap flew out. Without worrying about scolding his mother, Lin Nian quickly ran to pick up the book and check it. He kept praying in his heart, "Don't be bad. If it's bad, even if it sells me, I can't afford it." Fortunately, the book was not damaged and there was a false alarm. However, Lin Nianchang remembered that reading here cannot be placed on his legs, it must be placed on the table. Jia jia jia, mages on the other side of the wall, attack to your heart's content. My magical awakening depends on you. Imagination is beautiful. A few days later, Lin Nian dragged his tired body, like a sand dog, holding a book and moving up the stairs. After completing half a day's work, he was ready to pick a reading area and lie down to sleep for a while. There was no unexpected incident. Several staff members in the reading area told him that he could only rest in his room, and the deputy curator specifically instructed that Lin Nian could only come to the library for a short period of time to pick up books. Other places prohibited him from entering, in order to fulfill Lin Nian's ambition. Several librarians also told Lin Nian that Grandma Qin was going to conduct random checks on the books he read, and if she couldn't pass the checks, she would have to be punished. Lin Nian was angry and afraid, so she hung her head and went back. Ah, young people. In this way, Lin Nian struggled with extreme mental excitement and weakness for a month, finally adapting to it. It took nearly a year to firmly remember all kinds of demons, and even in his dreams, he could dream of them. Lin Nian couldn't help it. The board was so rigid that he couldn't even run away. As soon as he ran, he was caught back by Grandma Qin using spatial magic. "Xiao Lei, how's it going? This child hasn't disappointed anyone, has she?" Grandma Qin stood upstairs and squinted at Lei Zhenling next to her. "Well, he's such a strong child. You really have vision. At his age, my willpower is far inferior to him," Lei Zhenling responded humbly. "In the future, don't secretly add those hypnotic and soothing drugs to his meals. He will have to rely on himself to persist, and I don't plan on letting him move books anymore." "I'm sorry, senior." I also felt pity for Lin Nian. "Don't apologize to me, he can still stay here for a few more years. I want to teach him how to set up a magic formation, and I also ask you to take some time to teach him some knowledge of potions. He should have reached the first level of spiritual realm now, enough to learn these things. What do you think?" Grandma Qin told Lei Zhenling about her calculations. As long as he wants to learn, I, Lei Zhenling, would be happy to teach him. Over the past year and a half, his temperament has been impressive, and various librarians have noticed that even mid-level mages may not be able to persist, but he has achieved it. Lei Zhenling praised him generously. The next day, Lin Nian was summoned by Lei Zhenling and Qin Granny. Upon learning of their plans, Lin Nian thought to herself, "It's over, we can't live this day anymore." However, he didn't dare to show it. He smiled and offered tea to the two seniors, saying that he would study hard. In fact, if he didn't want to study hard, he wouldn't be able to succeed. The board would hit him unintentionally, and the hero wouldn't suffer immediate losses, let alone a double board. 2.5 years later, Lin Nian completed his studies, of course, more in theory, after all, he is not a wizard yet. Now he has completely transformed, standing 1.73 meters tall, with hair over his shoulders and a growing beard. Compared to 4 years ago, he has transformed even more obscene. "Sister Shaolin, the curator asked you to go to the first floor," said Hu Lily, a female librarian on the 7th floor to Lin Nian. "Please, Sister Lily, how many times have you said that you called me Mr. Xiaolin? If I could go out, I wouldn't have been without a haircut for 4 years. Lin Nian said angrily. "Also, I have a beard and it's all grown out," Lin Nian said as he headed to the first floor, leaving only Hu Lily holding her smile in place. On the first floor, Lin Nian leaned over to Lei Zhenling and asked, "Director, did you really teach me how to make that medicine today? Also, My mother.in.law went out half a month ago, why haven't she come back yet? Lin Nian, your grandmother Qin's grandson has returned from studying abroad and has been missing from the book garden www.zhaoshuyuan.com for several years. We cannot gather for a few more days. Today, we will teach you the medicine that excites the demon, which is the one you asked before. This is also the last one I taught you. Please pay attention to the technique and dosage ratio. Lei Zhenling looked at Lin Nian, who was more focused than usual, and his mouth twitched. Speaking of this, Lin Nian is not tired anymore. He is not thinking of using this medicine to harm the little girl. Those illegal and criminal activities cannot be done. If you don't bring lightning rods when you go out, you will die. But use this to help the demon. After giving birth to a cub or laying an egg, kill the female demon. When the cub is sold, isn't it all money? In the future, we need to buy a large piece of land, which can be used for both farming and animal training. When it comes to animal training, in the original French literature, Yi Xinxia relied on her powerful spiritual method to help the Victorian clan train dragons and develop a huge dragon and animal industry. We don't expect Yi Xinxia. Ding Yamian, a victim of the spiritual system, won't want to run away, and I will also pay a salary. Jia at this moment, a beautiful woman in the magic city shuddered. After Lei Zhenling finished teaching the last lesson, Lin Nian bowed deeply to him. Lei Zhenling had a relieved expression on his face. Although this student may not be very easygoing at times, he has a good understanding and it can be seen that he has genuine respect for his pharmacy teacher. Alright, Lin Nian, you can freely enter and exit the library in the future. Make a phone call and ask Aunt Lu to pick you up. The room will be reserved for you until high school graduation. If you want to come and read books in the future, just come over. Thank you, curator. I'll give you this bracelet. Could you please help me hand over the necklace to Grandma Qin? When she's free, I'll also visit and thank her. I'll go to the information desk and make a phone call first. After handing over the things to Lei Zhenling, Lin Nian walked towards the shared landline in the library. Hello. Aunt Lu, this is Lin Nian. Chapter 6. Lin Nian's Abnormality. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Lei Zhenling looked at the magic tool in his hand and felt mixed feelings in his heart. Previously, he was too embarrassed to ask for it. Each of these two magic tools had a unit price of over 500 million, and even for high-level mages, it was not something that could be easily given away. Lei Zhenling was even more satisfied with this student and secretly wished him the awakening of a powerful magic department. Xiao Nian, wait there, I'll come and pick you up right now. Lu Shi was very happy. She obviously still treated Lin Nian as the 12-year-old child back then, and didn't trust him to go back alone. Lin Nian didn't refuse either. He used to take a car from the suburbs to the city center, but in recent years he has been locked in the library. When he walked out, he probably had a black eye. So it's wiser to sit in the library and wait for Lu Shi to pick him up. Boys should protect themselves when they are outside. Lu Shi arrived at the magic library, and it was already evening. Lin Nian was immediately taken by her to the barber shop. Upon entering, the barber shop clerk said, "Sister, bring your daughter to have a haircut." Lin Nian had a strong desire to die upon hearing this, strongly stating that she needed to have a haircut, but Lu Shi disagreed. She felt that Lin Nian was about to become a high school student and should pay attention to his appearance. With her signal, she even gave him a Korean-style center score. "Sister, don't mind me talking too much. You need to pay attention to the nutrition of this child. His pale face doesn't look as healthy as a vampire." The barber whispered to Lu Shi at the cashier. Rolling his eyes, Lin Nian roasted in his heart that if you don't see the sun for 4 years, you are whiter than me. Lu Shi didn't say anything either. She knew that Lin Nian had been studying hard for the past 4 years. Strictly speaking, he was being studied hard. After leaving the barber shop, Lu Shi looked at Lin Yan's exposed ankles and sighed at his growth rate. When he was sent in, he was over 1.2 meters tall, but now he's 1.7 meters tall. Unable to resist Lu Shi, Lin Yan was dragged to buy clothes again, and he arranged to buy several sets of clothing and accessories, spending nearly 5,000 yuan. Looking at these big and small packages, none of them belonged to Lu Shi, and Lin Yan couldn't help feeling a bit guilty. Lu Shi saw Lin Yan's thoughts and slapped him on the head, saying, "Kid, you look down on Aunt, don't you? After all, Aunt has opened a restaurant in recent years, and her subordinates are in charge of more than 10 people. Lin Yan." What? Lu Shi never mentioned these to him on the phone, which made him frugal and reluctant to buy anything. The library staff would help him cut a knife. "Aunt Lu, you see, we are also a decent boss now. Would you like to go back and buy me the previous set of clothes? It's been a few years since we last saw each other, and Lu Shi still has that kind of attitude. He really wants to find a rolling pin to repair him now. That outfit is the top of the restaurant's revenue for a month and a half. I really don't know if he will raise a white-eyed wolf in the future if he works so hard these years. It seems that the suit is dead." Lin Yan, the chicken thief, immediately expressed that he was hungry and asked Lu Shi to treat him. Lu Shi took him to a nearby store to eat roasted sucking pig or roasted baby pig. Then, Lu Shi began to doubt whether the person in front of him was the child named Lin Yan. This guy ate 2 whole suckling pigs with chili noodles. The shop owner saw him like this and calmly arranged for 2 waiters to sit at the door, fearing that he was a beggar, and went straight to buy for 0 yuan. After eating and drinking enough, Lu Shi paid and took Lin Yan to catch the latest bus back to his old house in the suburbs. After returning home, Lu Shi jokingly asked, "Xiao Nian, are you still hungry? There are still some cakes and leftover dishes at home. If you're hungry, Auntie will heat it up for you." Lin Yan did feel a bit hungry again. He responded to Lu Shi's call and walked towards the kitchen, quickly pulling the stone table aside and throwing all the leftover food into the pot. He was too lazy to heat those few cakes. A few minutes later, he lifted the pot directly onto the table and symbolically asked Lu Shi if he would eat it. Then he ate it on his own, leaving only one of the 3 large pancakes left. To be honest, Lu Shi suspected that Lin Yan had been abused in the library. How could someone with thin arms and legs eat so much? Also, that stone table was specially bought in an extra large size to accommodate more steamers in the past, weighing at least 100 or so kilograms. It's not reasonable for an ordinary child to pull it aside with one hand. Lu Shi used the excuse of going to the bathroom and advised Lin Yan to rest earlier. She ran to the door and directly dialed Director Lei Zhenling's phone number, telling him about Lin Yan's situation. Lei Zhenling awkwardly stated that Lin Yan was unharmed, perfunctorily stating that this was a premonition of Lin Yan's innate talent before awakening to magic, and then hastily hung up the phone. After hanging up on the phone, he couldn't help but say, "Young people. This rebound is too outrageous. It seems that the previous squeezing was too fierce. 2 pigs, 2 pigs. Poop. Ha ha ha. Isn't it a bit bad for me to do this? Forget it, my students don't laugh anymore. Ha ha." A few days later, Lin Yan still couldn't explain his abnormality. He borrowed Lu Shi's phone to call Director Lei for advice. Director Lei perfunctorily said that this was a normal phenomenon before awakening, and the books about magical awakening were not comprehensive, possibly related to his innate talent. Lin Yan didn't actually believe it very much, but he didn't have any reasonable explanation. He just half believed and half didn't believe, so he just accepted it. About half a month before the start of high school, Grandma Qin asked Lu Shi to visit her house. After Lu Shi informed Lin Yan, she also provided her with a mobile phone. Lin Yan and Lu Shi were grateful for Grandma Qin's status, and they visited Grandma Qin's house on the same day. On the way, Lin Yan noticed that passers-by were observing him from time to time, of all ages and genders. This puzzled Lin Yan very much. How to put it, he felt like a monkey in the zoo when he went to the book garden www.zhaozuiyuan.com. At noon, when they arrived at the quiet community where Grandma Qin lived, the two of them gave her some gifts, and Lin Nian also met her grandson, Wang Teng. Lin Nian is not very fond of Wang Teng, but Wang Teng has a great interest in Lin Nian. Without him, after eating 2 suckling pigs that day, Lin Nian was photographed and posted online by the good guy in the shop. He also uploaded the bill as evidence, and Lin Nian was affectionately praised by netizens as the future star of French cuisine. The double pig boy. The poor victim seems completely unaware of his public execution at Wang Teng's suggestion. The 4 of them went to the bustling market to have a meal. Firstly, Wang Teng had not yet strolled around his hometown well after returning, and secondly, Wang Teng was purely curious whether Lin Erzhu was as cruel as rumored. It was time for dinner, and all the shops were crowded with people. Lin Nian and his team couldn't squeeze, so they chose a barbecue restaurant. There weren't many people eating barbecue during the day, and the restaurant had just opened its door. Seeing the guest come in, the landlady warmly greeted him. Lu Shi handed the menu to Grandma Qin and Wang Teng. Grandma Qin casually ordered a few light vegetarian dishes, while Wang Teng ordered more than 50 skewers. Anyway, he thought he would have Lin Nian as a backup if he couldn't finish it. Lu Shi was quite straightforward. She directly served more than 20 plates in the freezer, and she was also afraid that Lin Nian would be shy and embarrassed to take too many, which would result in starving. The landlady was afraid they wouldn't finish eating, so she repeatedly asked if she was sure she wanted to grill so much. She also doesn't want food to be wasted, which is a common sentiment among every diner, hoping that every diner can enjoy their carefully crafted delicacies. That's all for now. I won't be able to get it later. Could you please, madam, please? Lu Shi said back to the barbecue shop owner with a hard face. On the other hand, Wang Teng looked at the more than 20 skewers and his understanding of people was elevated. Chapter 7. The Pig. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Grandma, I have a teacher who is a master in the healing department. How about I invite him to come and check Lin Nian? Wang Teng weakly said. Shouting, it's okay. Lin Nian is about to wake up, and it will be normal in a few days when she wakes up, Qin Granny replied lightly. No one has awakened. Wang Teng didn't finish his sentence. Seeing his grandmother's gradually narrowed eyes, he wisely chose to shut up. Even though he was now of advanced double rank, he still couldn't hold on to that big board. Lin Nian naturally heard this, but Lin Nian didn't say anything. After spending a few years together, Qin Granny was still amiable and kind to herself, and she could completely trust her. Everyone, make way, let's have some skewers. After more than 10 minutes, the boss politely said, holding a plate of skewers. Next is the scene of 3 observers watching the pigs eat. There's nothing to say. 1 hour later, Brother Xiaolin, are you in the 8th set? Wang Teng looked at Lin Nian, who was full of oil and was shocked. It should only be the 7th set, this boss is really slow in baking things. Talent. Wang Teng is speechless. Would you like to hear what you are saying? What kind of tiredness are the barbecue masters? Another hour later, Lin Nian was already standing next to the grill at the door, urging the skewer chef from time to time, boss, hurry up, you're roasting snails. I've finished this plate. I'm sorry, my hands are a bit out of control. I'll be fine soon, the boss said apologetically as he looked at Lin Nian. In fact, the boss has already asked Lin Nian 10,000 times in his heart. What's going on? When he asked for some barbecue, I slowly flipped it over on the shelf, brushed the ingredients and oil, and leisurely earned the money. This pig is good, and I hold a big handful in one hand for more than 2 hours in a row. My hands are almost exhausted, so you still think I'm slow? After handing the new set of skewers to Lin Nian, the boss decided to shake people up. After all, money is important and life is also rare. Thinking of this, the boss immediately ran to the bathroom and secretly started making a phone call. "Hey, Lao Zhang, are you up yet? Come and save my brother when you're up. I've got someone with a big appetite here. My hands are cramping and I can't handle it anymore. Take your disciple with you." The man over there on the phone is also not very patient, but making a living in this place, knowing only a few people, it is uncertain that one day something will happen to him, and he will have to go if necessary. After a while, Master Zhang arrived with his disciples, and when they saw the pile of sticks under Lin Nian's table, they also murmured. "Jimei, this shop is quite strange. It's just that big and has 2 grills. Is business so good? Hey, look at Jimei. Is that person inside the online guy who ate 2 pigs?" The 2 girls took out their phones and slapped Lin Nian at the entrance of the restaurant. Soon, news of Lin Nian's appearance at the barbecue restaurant spread widely, and with the help of positive actors, a new trend of catching pigs swept across major social media platforms. Lin Nian sat back in the shop. He was very happy with Strip the skewers, but a bunch of meat was so small. How could he eat enough? The boss was so kind. He shook 2 people to take care of me. The entrance of the barbecue restaurant was quickly crowded with people. The landlady saw that Wang Tang and the others might be wizards and didn't dare to let anyone in to disturb Lin Nian. She kept apologizing to everyone at the door, saying that she wouldn't receive any other guests today, so please take care of something more. Perhaps it was Grandma Qin who felt that there was some noise outside. With a wave of her hand, the rolling shutter door of the shop was lowered, and a barrier was casually set up, along with a small chaotic vortex to absorb the oil and smoke emitted from the barbecue. Wang Teng was very surprised in his heart. He knew his grandmother so well that she was like the leader of an elderly group with black bellies. Now, he even resorted to magic to have a barbecue for Lin Nian's peace of mind. Grandma Qin saw a pile of plates on the table next to Lin Nian, with a hint of shame on her face. She had been too strict with this child in the past 4 years. Cough, cough, cough. I was also doing it for the sake of the child's good. It was all helpless. The 2 barbecue masters saw that the old lady was actually a wizard, and they dared not speak out. They had long forgotten about complaining and were so trembling, wiping their sweat and bowing their heads to barbecue. A few hours later, the sun had already finished work, and after Lin Nian and the others checked out, they were teleported away by Grandma Qin using advanced spatial magic. "Why don't you go to dinner?" Except for Lin Nian, everyone else has no appetite. Lin Nian has been stripped the skewers for 7 hours, and no matter how cheeky he is, he can't bear it. He has to go. Finally left. Woo woo woo. The barbecue shop owner has never hated skewers so much in his life. Lao Zhang, Shaoli, thank you all today. This 1,000 yuan will be your reward for working hard for half a day. If you have anything to do in the future, please call us and make sure we are on call. The landlady said and smiled as she counted the money. You're such a bitch, Lao Zhang is my brother. Bring me 500 more. Upon hearing his brother's words, Master Zhang's heart also warmed. Just as he was about to refuse, he saw the shop owner constantly winking at him. As a married man, he suddenly realized and learned that today was not in vain. It seems that he will also need to trouble this friend frequently to help in the future. The next day, the landlady couldn't bear the questioning from those self-media and journalists at the door. She directly posted the bill for Lin Nian's consumption in the store yesterday on the door, which once again refreshed the upper limit of netizens' understanding of human appetite. 276 beef skewers, please go to www.jiaoshuyuan.com to find 252 sausage skewers. 351 pieces of meat and bone. The total is 19,816 yuan, lying in the trough. This list is fake. To be honest, the barbecue at this restaurant is quite cheap. That pig ate a total of 6,750 skewers, all of which were meat. On average, one skewer cost less than 3 yuan. Let's go for a walk and have a meal. The barbecue shop owner looked at the long queue outside the door, his hands trembling, and he couldn't help but pick up the phone and shake people. Soon, major catering leading enterprises discovered that Lin Nian could bring huge traffic, which is profit, and approached him through various channels to discuss cooperation, but he politely declined. There are many people who are popular, and the old saying is true. After eating that barbecue, the next day, so-called food anchors with the title of Lin Nian began to appear on the internet, deceiving people to eat and drink everywhere. Even worse, they simply found someone with a body shape similar to Lin Nian, used some techniques to blur it, and went around to deceive and attract attention and traffic. Lin Nian had no choice but to register a video account to refute the rumors. He posted a video of his usual meals and quickly gained attention. After multiple official certifications, Lin Nian also told the public that he has not been out since the barbecue restaurant. Netizens looked at the name, "That Pig," on Lin Nian's video account, then stared at the bunch of mischievous signatures. Young people have a long body, eating 2 suckling pigs as a tooth sacrifice is very reasonable, isn't it? I can't help but suspect that there may be some hidden agenda behind this officially certified account. In the next few days, Lin Nian realized that she was angry and was at home calculating about making money. There's nothing else to it. Without money, what kind of food do you have? What kind of Dharma master should I be? Taking a step back, Lu Shi has raised Lin Nian for so many years and even gambled all his wealth on opening a restaurant for her to learn magic. Lin Nian also wants to repay her kindness. Chapter 8. Pig Catching. You are listening at novelfull.audio. There is still a week before the start of the first high school of magic in the Demon City, and Lin Nian has started causing trouble online. Didn't you organize a pig-catching operation? Okay, I'll set up a challenge arena for 6 days, and the location will be in Yaodu. The person who caught me will pay 99,081.6 yuan, and I'll give 100,000 yuan to be afraid of you floating. Don't worry, during the challenge week, I will live stream meals at restaurants outside every day. Mages, please don't come and join in the fun. It would be disrespectful, and even if caught, they won't recognize me. Damn it, this guy is so arrogant. Give him 100,000 to be afraid of us drifting. Walk around, don't type on the keyboard online. Team up and catch him, reel him offline. I'm not short of that little money, I just want to see if he can really eat so much. Come on, team up and go to the demon to catch pigs. When we catch them, we'll also do a sterilization surgery for the pigs. Puff. Emperor Capital +1. Upstairs, fill up all the demons. Xiao Nian, why don't you just stay indoors? It's too dangerous. Lu Shi looked at the various out-of-tune comments on his phone and couldn't help but feel worried. Aunt Lu, it's okay. The more they argue, the better. What's scary is that they don't react, Lin Nian said to Lu Shi without any concern. Xiao Nian, you still need to be more stable. If you make a big fuss, it won't be good for your future development if the Magic Association intervenes. Lu Shi still didn't feel at ease. Ultimately, Lin Nian's future was her most concerned thing. Aunt Lu, there's no need to think about it anymore. No matter how many people come, they all brush GDP for demons. The Magic Association is not happy yet, and I don't break the law or anything. What are you afraid of? Let's take a step back. In recent years, various ethnic groups' demonic actions have been frequent, and I'm sure the senior management would like to see me do something to ease the current tense atmosphere. Oh, I have to go now. Remember what I told you. Lin Nian then ran to the center of the demon city. Lu Shi stared blankly at Lin Nian's departing figure. As the child grew too fast, she felt an unprecedented sense of unfamiliarity and distance. After Lin Nian arrived at the center of the demon city, he disguised himself and casually chose a community to enter. The environment in the community was quite good, with convenience stores, gyms, and small restaurants distributed throughout. Flipping a coin, Nian walked into a small restaurant. It was around 10:30 in the morning, and it was late for breakfast and early for lunch, so the restaurant seemed a bit deserted. However, this was what Nian wanted. "Boss, do you have any food now? I'll have someone come here to make hot pot." Nian looked at the shop owner in front of him, silently thinking that he couldn't recognize him. "Hee, look at what you're saying. What other restaurant should I open when the restaurant runs out of food? How many of you come over?" The shop owner greeted with a smile. "6 people, they should come later. Let me order first, flavor hot pot, big pot, and show me your menu." Nian lied with a sad face. After taking the menu, Nian ordered more than 20 items and went up to a small compartment on the second floor. This small restaurant served quickly and was ready in 15 minutes. Because he was afraid of being discovered, Nian shamelessly went to the front desk to settle the bill first, using excuses to avoid friends rushing to pay. The shop owner was also sincere, thinking that Nian's friend would rush to settle the bill before he arrived. He was such a good friend, so he immediately gave Nian a large bottle of iced coconut milk at the table. Nian returned to the second floor compartment and placed a napkin with the store name on the chair. He immediately took off his disguise, but there was no way he could. The previously popular pig-eating video of Nian was filmed with a real face, and the fans of the live show were not willing to accept it. While showing off and provoking netizens in the live broadcast room with his eyes, Nian doesn't care about anything black or red, his main focus is on indiscriminate ridicule. The number of people in the live broadcast room skyrocketed, and various analysis emperors and logic monsters in the forum analyzed various details of Nian's live broadcast scene. Of course, due to the lack of external environment and restaurant store labels, it was no less difficult than ordinary people showing off in front of demons to accurately find Nian in such a large demon city area. In the exquisite boudoir of Mu Nugio, the eldest lady of the Mo Dumu family, Ada too is browsing the forum, while Nian's live stream is playing on another phone. "Sister Mu, where do you think this pig is? Let's also go to the demon city to catch pigs. It's so fun to watch." Mu Nugio looked at the playful AI Tutu, feeling both helpless and envious. The military aristocratic AI family doted on her endlessly, even though it was almost the beginning of the 3rd year of junior high school, they did not restrain her. "Tutu, school will start next week, and you will also use dim sum a little. Are you going to outsource the holiday homework assigned by the teachers?" Mu Nugio is also satisfied with her friend, and she is too playful. "Sister Mu, look, this pig has soaked all the leftover soup from the flavor hot pot. He is so powerful. He eats 2 big barrels of rice and 26 kinds of dishes alone." Tutu cried out in surprise, apparently not listening to a word he said to Mu Nugio. "Sister Mu, I also want to go catch pigs. These days have been too boring. Can you accompany me to the demon city?" Ada tugged at the hand of the Mu Nugio, shaking and acting coquettishly. "We can't catch someone who's not familiar with the place over there. Alright, my family won't let me go out during this time. School is about to start, so we need to be calm." Mu Nugio was also surprised by Nian's appetite, but she couldn't go, so she could only give a little reward and feed the pigs. Ada too pursed her lips, and Mu Nugio couldn't go. She was a bit afraid to go alone, and she didn't dare to go. Her heart was like scratching a cat's paw. After disguising himself, Nian quickly left the store and began searching for the next crime scene. This kind of sneaky excitement, afraid of being discovered, made Nian feel extremely satisfied. 3 days later, in a slightly dimly lit corner, no way, these guys have something to do. They almost got caught, exhausted, and can't stay in the city center anymore. Nian gasped for breath and looked embarrassed. Looking back on these 3 days, after eating, he looked around like the cat that came out to steal fish, afraid of being caught. He had almost been caught a few times. That night, Lin Nian returned to his old house in the suburb. When Lu Shi heard the door open, he got up and saw Lin Nian wrapped like Zongzi. He almost cried out. Fortunately, Lin Nian spoke up in time to stop it, otherwise Lu Shi would scream in the middle of the night, unsure of how the neighbors would arrange it in the future. After entering the house, Lin Nian gave Lu Shi all the profits from the 3 days of live streaming. Lu Shi saw the 8-digit numbers starting with the 3 digits, and his face was filled with confusion, shock, and joy. Lin Nian jokingly said to Lu Shi, "Aunt Lu, the platform drew 60% on the first day, and the next day they wisely only received 45%. Perhaps their boss is also afraid that I, this pig, will run away. Aunt, have you dealt with it on your end? Don't worry, it's almost done, Xiao Nian. Why don't you keep it for yourself? The investment risk is too high this time, and there are too many places where you can learn magic and use money. Your uncle used to be a beginner because he didn't have money or resources, and he died. If. Sigh. Lu Shi was very pleased with Lin Nian's behavior of transferring money to himself. With such a large number, many family members don't have such trust. Then, looking at this scary number, he thought of his deceased husband and couldn't help but choke when he went to the book garden www.zhaozuiyuan.com. Alright, Auntie Lu, the past is over. If the plan succeeds, I'll give you tens of millions, and then you can find me another uncle worth hundreds of billions. I won't have to worry about learning magic for the rest of my life. Lin Nian couldn't help but see Lu Shi's sadness, so he quickly joked and changed the topic. Upon hearing these words, Lu Shi immediately felt overwhelmed. This young man had always planned to sell his mother to pave the way for him. Thinking of this, Lu Shi's eyes patrolled the room, as if searching for something. Lin Nian saw that she was looking for a rolling pin, and immediately changed the topic from her heart. She said, "Aunt Lu, I have 4 days left for school to start. In 3 more days, I will sell my account. I have been live streaming in your store for the past 3 days. If you are tired for another 3 days, don't let the staff in the store find out it's me. After I start school, you can rest. These years have been tough enough for you. When the time comes, I will sell my account and buy you a house in the city. You can move to the city. Demons may appear in the suburbs from time to time, which is not safe. You can move away and I can go to school with peace of mind." Lu Shi watched as Lin Nian, who had suddenly become more sensible, suddenly struggled to recover. However, she said a few harsh words. "Xiao Linzi, you want to trick me into going to a high-end residential area to find your uncle for you, right? Hey, I'm not fooled by you. I'll tell you, I won't go. I know a few friends here. When I go to the city, whenever I encounter something, it's called Tian Tian Buing or Di Di Ling. My mother is still young and not old enough to be taken care of. As for the store, you just go and I'll give them a break. There's no one around these days." Lin Nian returned to his room dejectedly, without any coercion. Indeed, once a person adapts to a certain living environment, it is not so easy to change. Thinking of the 30 million yuan transferred to Lu Shi, Lin Nian seemed to recall something with a gloomy expression. Only the pitch-black night outside the window knew what was on his mind. Chapter 9. Growing Fat. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The next day, Lin Nian arrived early at the restaurant opened by Lu Shi, and seeing the name of the restaurant, Lin Nian couldn't help but feel resentful in his heart. Osmanthus Restaurant, hee, Aunt Lu has a good taste, and the fragrance must be the fragrance of Osmanthus. Lin Nian still had to make a good disguise before he dared to go out. There was no way. If someone recognized him on the road, 100,000 people would fly away. The little pig catching Memorial Archway could not stand up. After entering the store, a young voice rang out, Lu Jie, who is this person? Obviously, the young lady carrying large and small bags was curious about Lin Nian, who had a duckbill cap, sunglasses, and an asymmetrical 8-character beard in front of her. She wondered if this might be Lu Shi's crush or something. Oh, it's Xiaoxiu. This is my cousin Lu Niansuan. Sigh, he's also pitiful. He was born mute. My uncle and his team have something to attend to these past few days, so he asked me to take care of it for 2 days. By the way, last night I said in the group that I would give everyone a 3-day vacation. Are you leaving something in the store? Lu Shi pulled Xiaoxiu down and whispered, afraid of being heard by others. Yeah, I'm here to get a charger. I want to go to the city center to play for 2 days. Sister, your cousin looks quite anxious. Those who don't know about his beard think he's in his 40s. Who said it's not right? He's naturally not good at speaking, and his heart is very depressed. After seeing my cousin for so many years, he's also cold and afraid of what I'll do. Alright, Xiaoxiu, take the charger and hurry to catch the bus. When it gets to work later, you won't be able to squeeze on the bus. Be careful of safety on the way, and let her know if there's anything. Lu Shi didn't want to entangle himself with the salesperson, so Xiaoxiu, the salesperson, grabbed the charger and ran to the bus stop. Lin Nian looked at the restaurant and couldn't help but joke. I said, Aunt Lu, you made me feel so pitiful. You changed my seniority and name. Alright, ancestor, let's go to the 2nd floor. Those private rooms are spacious and spacious. I'll go to the kitchen and cook for you whatever you want. After these few days, I'll quickly go to school. Looking at you really. Lu Shi gave Lin Nian a cold look. After 9 o'clock, Lu Shi's dishes were almost ready, and Lin Nian began live streaming to make money. Haha, you almost caught me playing hotpot yesterday. Hee, I started again. Ah, what a wonderful pig head meat. Due to the large number of viewers in Lin Nian's live broadcast room, it was quickly topped by the platform. At the same time, various pig-catching groups on the internet began to become active, including the Monster Hunting Pig Team, the Pig Sterilization Plan Execution Branch, the 816 Pig Special Team, the Pig-100000 Charity Dividend, and the Pig Outbound Nursing Team, among others. Netizens had their minds wide open, and of course, there were also people with intentions who were hyping up for profit. On the 2nd day after the self-live broadcast became popular, Lin Nian noticed the influence of capital on platforms such as the Pig Feeding Plan, About My Online Pig Feeding, and Pig Listing Plan, guiding netizens to give Lin Nian gifts. For example, under the influence of these gimmicks, a person in a certain image of Mo Du spent 130,000 yuan, making the moat inhumane. However, Lin Nian is happy to see these achievements, so if you like to shout, just shout it out. With him, it's enough. The day came to an end quickly, and Lu Shi was exhausted enough. Although the food could be ordered for takeout, it had to be delicately arranged, otherwise it wouldn't be so tiring. There was no way, and it was difficult to fool the audience with home-cooked dishes. The next day, scumbags, the same restaurant, the same private room. Yesterday, no one noticed me all day, right? I was in a hurry in the city center. Hee, I'm really in the suburbs. Come and catch me. Kind reminder. Please behave in a civilized manner. If you violate the rules too many times, the live broadcast room will be banned. Lin Nian couldn't help but feel frustrated. I have over 100 million fans, so if you have the ability, could you give me a try? Am I uncivilized? I have the highest quality in the world, okay? Damn it, no wonder we couldn't find this guy yesterday. We didn't hear any news. It turned out he had gone to the suburbs. This old six is getting more and more arrogant. Let's catch him. Hee, you guys go ahead. Let's just go to work and try to catch some fish. If we really go there, we might lose our job. What should we do if no one feeds pigs in the future? Brothers, Brother Bangi has received over 5 million yuan in gifts. He is a pig farmer and a god. On that day, the pig-catching frenzy caused several suburban areas to be devastated by the monsters. Lin Nian was not caught, and of course, it was impossible to catch him either. After all, the Osmanthus restaurant was closed, so it would be strange to catch him. District Chief, this kid is too mischievous. Our security forces have all been dispatched, and today the district is in chaos. You guys, I hope this kid can come to our district and make trouble for a few more days. Chaos cannot be chaotic. With too many people coming, we have to eat, drink, and live, and the financial pressure in our district can be relieved. The Mediterranean district chief in the suburbs of Yaodu sighed as he listened to the complaints of his subordinates and sighed that the pattern of starting with subordinates was too narrow-minded. At 8 p.m., Lin Nian finally finished broadcasting and called Lu Shi back to rest while implementing the next plan. An hour later, 2 large business vehicles arrived at the entrance of the Osmanthus Hotel, but only 1 man and 1 woman got off and walked towards the store. As soon as Lin Nian went out to greet her, an 11-year-old girl rushed up to him with a whoosh, grabbed his hand, took out her phone, and smiled proudly at the camera. With a click, it seemed like she had won a battle, showing off and including Lin Nian and her in this photo. Of course, this wave of manipulation stunned our comrade Lin. Huh, brother, I'm the first person to catch a pig. Can I post a social circle to show off to Alan and the others? You know how to act recklessly. I'm really sorry, my sister.in.law is mischievous. I apologize for bothering you so recklessly. Following the voice, the person who came was about 23 years old, with a slender figure, slow and steady steps, a gentle face, and a charming charm reminiscent of a humble gentleman in ancient times, making one feel like basking in spring breeze. Hello, I am Su Yuanlin from the Su family in the imperial capital. This is my sister Su Jiao. Su Yuanlin briefly introduced herself. Oh, hello, I'm Lin Nian. Please come in, both of you, Lin Nian said and led them towards the store. Piggy, can you really eat so much? Do you have stomach pain? Do you? Su Jiao was extremely curious about Lin Nian, becoming a familiar girl and constantly asking him questions. Alright, little sister, we're here to talk to Mr. Lin about business, don't be naughty. Su Yuanlin was very helpless, and his family doted on her so much. He didn't dare to say a word of truth, afraid of being punished when he went back. It's okay, it's okay. I don't know how to change the Heavenly Gang 36 yet. I guess I lost the 9-toothed rake on the way to obtain scriptures in my previous life, but it's gone in this life. Lin Nian didn't mind, patiently answering while pouring tea. After all, these two are the god of wealth. Su Yuanlin took a sip of tea, frowned slightly, and immediately got to the point. Mr. Lin, based on the actual situation of your account, we were not very familiar with this industry before. Can you take the liberty of asking, how much do you plan to sell it for? At a young age, Lin Nian has a fox-like vibe and is very cunning. The aristocratic young master is really an aristocratic young master. Lin Nian muttered to the detective in his heart. Indeed, they had a clear idea of how much Lin Nian's account could be worth. However, considering that Lin Nian is young and at the bottom level, if he offered a very low price, they would naturally feel at ease and save a lot of money. Lin Nian pretended to ponder and spoke with a probing expression, 1 billion. Now that I've earned over 10 million yuan in a day, will 1 billion yuan be a bit of a loss? Lin Nian clung to his chin, making a harmless and thoughtful appearance. Su Yuanlin almost spat out a sip of tea and cursed in his heart. Do you really know what 1 billion is? Do you understand that a fan in a market account only costs 50 cents? You 120 million fans, I'll take 1 billion. If you go back, Dad might have to skin me. Thinking this way, Su Yuanlin still smiled and said to Lin Nian, it seems that Mr. Lin doesn't know much about the market. Generally, a fan is worth 30 cents. Based on this calculation, Mr. Lin's account is worth 36 million yuan. So, I'll round it up to 40 million yuan. What do you think? Lin Nian sighed and said, indeed, there is no business without fraud. He didn't argue and took out his phone to find several buyers who were offered 60.1 yuan by a single fan. He handed it to Su Yuanlin and said sincerely, Brother Su, I am young and I don't know if they are scammers. What you said seems to be a bit different. Sure enough, after seeing those buyers privately message Lin Nian the price he gave, Su Yuanlin became less calm. He began to truly face the 16-year-old boy in front of him, and finally realized that from the beginning of the fight, the other party had played such a game. Although it was rough, he did it. Su Yuanlin smiled slightly and then said, Brother Lin Nian, fans gather and disperse quickly. This kind of fast money can't be earned for too long. The price of 1 billion is still too unrealistic. Brother Su's words make sense, but I feel like 40 million is too little and not worth it. Lin Nian decided not to pretend. Su Yuanlin is helpless. This product is one big brother at a time, one sentence at a time is not enough, but there is no way. With 120 million active fans and 98% of the fan base being young people aged 15.30, it is really suitable for the products of their family company. The family has instructed that they must take it, otherwise they will face punishment if they go back. Brother Lin Nian, we don't need to test each other anymore. The psychological bottom price given to me by my family is 1.6 yuan per fan. Do you think this is the price range? Su Yuanlin asked Lin Nian with a troubled expression. Lin Nian thought to himself, you really know how to pretend to be you. You have a psychological bottom line, but you haven't said it yet. Forget it, don't force yourself too hard, it should be around. Brother Su, let's do it this way. One fan costs 8 yuan, of course, based on the number of fans at 12 p.m. tomorrow night, and then give me an additional 50 million in exchange. I won't live stream myself for 5 years, and tomorrow night I will be caught by Miss Su Jiao in the live broadcast room. I will announce the bounty and live broadcast account that caught me to Miss Jiao in public. This way, your account acceptance will also appear more reasonable and won't lose too many fans. What do you think? Lin Nian finished speaking and looked at Su Yuanlin. Su Yuanlin pondered for a moment and said to Lin Nian, the price is a bit high, and there is still that 50 million. I need to call my family and ask for their advice. Please wait a moment. Chapter 10. Listing. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yuanlin, promise him that those few families will join forces to chase and block us. Now the family must break through the situation. Our Su family, who is worth 1 or 2 billion yuan, doesn't need to care. It's best to sign the contract tonight. The man on the phone, who was full of anger, was clearly a bit anxious. Okay, Dad, I still think he's just an ordinary person, and he's not afraid of being manipulated by aristocratic families. Su Yuanlin respectfully responded to his father on the other end of the phone. How could the head of the Su family not hear the implied meaning? He let go of his impatience and patiently gave his son a verbal education. My son, I have always taught you to be cautious in your words and actions, to be careful in your actions, and to plan things without considering the overall situation. It is impossible to achieve things, and you still cannot listen. Su Yuanlin heard a hint of disappointment in his father's tone and remained silent for a while before another voice came from the other end of the phone. Nowadays, major demon tribes are restless, and both the upper echelons and the public need to ease the tense atmosphere in the country. Therefore, people like Lin Nian will be allowed to appear. Especially for Lin Nian, in recent days, the various districts of the demon capital have been almost overcrowded, with over 10 million people. This means that the magic associations, major aristocratic families, and even small vendors in the demon capital have all earned a lot of money. Now that Lin Nian has suddenly disappeared, with his reputation in the past few days, the demon capital will conduct strict inspections. Once we discover the shadow of the Su family, those aristocratic families in the demon capital may not do anything, but how many times will it be difficult to do business with them in the future? And those old guys from the imperial capital will definitely come together and bite us hard, which will greatly damage our morale, especially if the target audience for the new product in the family is young people. If we find out that you have targeted Lin Nian, the new product of the family will also collapse. You also know how much investment our Su family has made in this product. If it fails, the family will have to decline. In the end, you and I, under the pressure from both inside and outside the family, high-level officials, and the public, what good outcome can we have? After all, we are not a noble family, such a big risk, son, don't have a mentality of luck. After listening to these words, Su Yuanlin's back broke out in cold sweat. Before he could speak, the voice on the other end of the phone came back. Let me tell you more about Lin Nian. From the beginning, he knew that this bowl of rice could be served for a short time, so he contacted you so quickly after it became popular and dealt with his account. As for why he chose our Su family, I'm not sure, but undoubtedly, our Su family's products need to break through now. Our public image has been maintained in recent years, and it is relatively safe and profitable for him to come to us. Regardless of whether there are high-level experts behind him or not, I believe that he had made the worst plan before seeing you, and he is not afraid of your twisted thoughts. Don't easily offend him. Alright, hurry up and get things done and bring Xiao back. You still prioritize cultivation now, break through to the super level early, and your strength is more important than anything else. After the call, Su Yuanlin sighed and realized that he was the son of the head of the Su family in the imperial capital, a high-level mage. He felt like he couldn't even play with a 16-year-old boy. Indeed, no one in this world should be underestimated. Su Yuanlin tidied up his mood. When he walked into the shop, he saw Lin Nian giggling at Su Xiao, and his mouth twitched. His sister used half of her New Year's money this year to raise pigs. Sister, that's not a pig. That's a pig. She took the rake and bled our family. Can you take dim sum? I'm tired. Qi returned to Qi, but Su Yuanlin still smiled and said to Lin Nian, Brother Lin Nian, the family has agreed. If you don't have any other requirements, we are willing to pay a deposit of 20 million first. The day after tomorrow, when the number of fans is finally determined, we will go to notarize it, sign the contract, and settle the balance in one lump sum. What do you think? Haha, Xiao, I won. When you catch me tomorrow, I'll eat a suckling pig instead of cake, Lin Nian said proudly to Su Xiao. Su Xiao clearly felt a little aggrieved, her big eyes watery as she looked at Su Yuanlin and said, Stinky brother, you caused me to lose. You wait, go back and see how grandma will deal with you. Su Yuanlin. What? It's okay, brother Su. Let's make a bet with Xiao on how much deposit you'll give. Xiao guesses you'll give 30 million, and I'll give 20 million. Just follow what you just said. I'm also a straightforward person, and it's really not easy for you. The son of the head of the Su family in the imperial capital, who came to run the family business in person, shows that you still value it very much and have sincerity. In this way, for the sake of Xiao, I won't want the remaining hundreds of thousands of fans in the account the day after tomorrow. I'll just apologize to Xiao and settle it to the million level. Lin Nian said to Su Yuanlin, indeed. It was looking at Su Xiao, with a smile at the corner of her eye, as if trying to coax her. Su Yuanlin's mouth twitched, and with a moment's thought, his younger sister sold herself, revealing everything about her identity and background. He also heard that the son of the current head of your Su family is personally taking over this business, which indicates that the Su family is not in a good situation. I gave you hundreds of thousands of fans for free, which also shows that I have sincerity and did not choose to lower the price or sell to your competitors. Thinking of this, he looked up to Lin Nian and immediately ordered his sister to go to the car to ask the secretary to sign the deposit contract. Lin brothers, we used to talk about business. I'm sorry, but you see, we already know each other to some extent. I'm sorry to ask you something, can we have a cake tomorrow night when we live stream together with Jiao? There's no way, although Su Yuanlin spoils her sister, she's even more afraid of her grandmother at home, so she has to beg Lin Nian if she looks down. Brother Su, Lin Nian, can also be considered a person with a beginning and an end. If I become popular, I will eat a suckling pig, and if I quit, I should also eat a suckling pig. But don't worry, after finishing the suckling pig, I will share a cake with Ji Yao. I really envy you for having such a good sister. Lin Nian felt somewhat touched and also a little sad. Su Yuanlin thanked him repeatedly, signed the deposit contract, paid the deposit, and then left with his sister and secretaries. Returning to the old house, Lin Nian looked at the time and at 10:30 p.m., which was not too late, immediately opened the live broadcast with a mocking expression on his face. Sigh, tomorrow is the last day. I'm worried that you can't give me the money to raise a chubby and fair person. How about this? I'll increase it tenfold. If I catch someone who caught me, I'll give 990,816 yuan, after tax, and only give the first one. Also, as of 12 o'clock p.m. tomorrow night, as long as I'm caught, if I feed my fans and follow them in my live broadcast room within the past 6 days, I'll give them an electronic card called Feed Voucher. In the future, I'll pay 1/5 of the amount when I consume at the restaurant where I was caught. Oh, by the way, if the mage participates in catching you, it doesn't count. You guys will cheat, but I can't run away from you. That's it. I'll sleep, I've been running for a day and I'm exhausted. Lin Nian casually cut and edited the live broadcast recording screen, making it into a short video and placing it on his personal page before falling asleep. Of course, he did fall asleep. Driven by the numerous short video creators who casually added background music and then shared it, netizens went crazy. Wealth and wealth move people's hearts. For the vast majority of ordinary people, 990,000 yuan is a huge sum of money. Therefore, airport lobbies, high-speed rail stations, and bus stations near Yaodu in various places have reluctantly increased their schedules overnight under strong demands. Of course, the busiest one is Yaodu. Without hesitation, the staff of relevant departments in the latter half of the night are warmly greeting Lin Nian and his family. At 2 o'clock in the middle of the night, representatives from various major forces such as the Magic Association, the Military, the Trial Association, the Hunter Alliance, the Aristocratic Alliance, and the Academic Alliance gathered at the office of the mayor of Yaoqing City to discuss the placement, management, and price stability of the upcoming large number of personnel. This kid is going to stir up trouble. According to the information we have received, the detectable population of those who are about to come to the Demon City before 2 o'clock has exceeded 5 million. He's doing well. He posted a video and fell asleep immediately, which is really despicable. Yao Xian, the deputy mayor of the Demon City, blushed with anger. Alright, Lao Yao, that kid didn't do anything. The tax figures reported by the finance department have been increasing steadily in recent days. As you can see, it's still his credit. It's better to solve the current problem first. This concerns the face of our city. After tomorrow passes, the crowd will slowly recede. Song Wei, the mayor of the demonic city, advised. After rapid negotiations among several major forces, half an hour later, the general direction was basically determined. At the end of the meeting, a person pushed the door and entered, and a cheerful voice sounded. The little pig from Yaodu is really capable of making trouble. It's also a skill to gather you all in the middle of the night for a meeting. Everyone saw the newcomer clearly and quickly stood up, saying in unison, Speaker. After Speaker Xiao Zheng took his seat, Mayor Song asked softly, Speaker, why did you come? Let's take a look at the piglets I've fed and see if you can give me a feed voucher by the way. Xiao Zheng made a joke and immediately saw the newly drafted plan on the conference table. He picked it up and carefully read it. 5 minutes later, Xiao Zheng smiled with satisfaction and praised, "It's very good. The arrangement is very reasonable, especially in terms of controlling prices. You did a good job. You can quickly implement it." After speaking, Xiao Zheng left, and everyone looked at each other. What is this? The Speaker of the National Assembly made a special trip in the middle of the night, not to make a fuss, just to praise a few words. I can't figure it out after much thought.